What's up, guys? This is Raven from Nevermore.com. But anyways, Linux Mint 9 just came out. Well, it didn't just come out. It got released into release candidate today, and I've got a hold of it. And as far as I know, this is the first video that's being done on it. Now, I'm about ready to install it in a VirtualBox, as you can see, and we'll come back when I do that. Okay, so I've installed Linux Mint 9 on a virtual machine here in VirtualBox, and I am going to just, kind of show you the ropes and everything, because like I said before, I think this is probably the first Linux Mint 9 video you'll see. So, let's check it out. Now, I've already taken the time to install the VirtualBox add-ons, so I have the integrated mouse and everything like that. We have the same basic set of applications here. I should also note, for those who don't know, Linux Mint 9 is based on Ubuntu Lucid 10.04, and that Ubuntu 10.04 in and of itself is a beautiful operating system. Beautiful. Some flaws, and for a beginner to Linux, I would always recommend Linux Mint. Now, the thing I like about Linux Mint is they brought the elegance and the simplicity of a KDE style menu to the GNOME desktop, and that is so original. And I'm not being sarcastic. That is the most original thing I have seen in a GNOME desktop, the KDE style menu. It is awesome. Another thing that I like about Linux Mint is they come with better applications out of the box. They come with the codecs to play all your favorite formats of video and everything, the proprietary codecs and whatnot. And one thing I never did like about Linux Mint is that they put a proprietary, well, not proprietary, I shouldn't say proprietary, but their own version of Mozilla Firefox in there. And I was never crazy about that. I mean, sure, it's updated now, but they take so long to update their Firefoxes. Not that that matters to me. I'm an avid Chrome user, and that's just what I use. Anyways, let's go back and look at the features here. Let's go down here and see if we can tweak some settings here. I happen to like Compiz, so we're going to use that because it seems like a good idea. Now, the frame rate for Compiz might not look good on your end, but you get the idea. It looks fine on my end. I am sporting a 5970 video card. It looks great for me. Let's see here. Let's check out some of the programs here. Brasero. I am not a big fan of Brasero. I know it's the kind of GNOME equivalent to K3B, but in my mind, I know in my heart, K3B is the best. And bar none. It's kind of like Rhythmbox, I know in my heart, as far as GNOME music players go, at least in my opinion, I know a lot of people who swear by this. Exhale is the best. But since I'm just showing you the out-of-the-box stuff, we're just going to have to deal with this. Scroll through the programs here. You got your GIMP in there. They haven't been updated in a while, so it's probably the same version as it was in 8. You got your whole Office suite here, which is, OpenOffice is the king of open source Office suites. What can I say? And it, just as good as Word. But we all know that, don't we? See, the main reason I use Linux, I cannot completely move away from Windows because I'm a gamer at heart, and the reason I use Linux is if I need to do any kind of work or like spreadsheets and whatnot and so forth, because I'm a programmer, so programming in Linux, like a web developing programmer, doing that in Linux, it's such a more bare bones environment. I don't need things like Dreamweaver. I didn't train myself on that. I trained myself on Notepad. If you can't do it without a GUI, you're not a real programmer. But enough about me. We've got the GNOME M Player here, Movie Player. Now, if you've ever been in Ubuntu, you'd notice that the Totem Movie Player here, it only plays certain types of files. I tried dragging and dropping an episode of The Sopranos that I had ripped from one of my season DVDs, and it was an AVI file. Wouldn't play in Totem in Ubuntu 10.04. Now, that's because Ubuntu goes for the whole open source initiative thing, so they stick to that premise. But you know, I respect the fact that Linux Mint is willing to say, well, okay, this is what you want, and we're going to give it to you because we are a community-based distro of Linux. And it appears that I might actually have some updates here. So, let's check that out. Now, if you didn't believe this was Linux Mint 9 before, let's see if you believe it now. As soon as the updates grab themselves. While we're waiting for that, let's check out some more programs here. We've got pretty much the same basic set of programs as I said before. That's in Ubuntu and the other Linux Mint distribution, versions, and yeah, this is quite amazing. I gotta say, I'm glad they didn't change the menu much. I really wish they would keep their well, is it me or is the Ubuntu Software Center, is their software more up to date more frequently than the Mint install Software Center? That's the only real gripe I have with Linux Mint, is their software doesn't seem as up to date. But then again, maybe I'm just not looking. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're waiting for these update packages to download. Anytime now. Virtual machines suck. That's why I can't wait to get this installed on an actual machine. Only 2 updates. 2 updates. Not too shabby. We're going to go ahead and install those. And let those things install. Take a look at the terminal here. I really wish they would make it black like in Ubuntu. I like dark. I like the black. I think it's cool. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what. We're gonna go have a look. We're gonna get my favorite browser here, because as much as I like Firefox and respect what they've done, Chrome is coming along very nicely. Very nicely. It is quite amazing what Chrome is doing. Or I should say what Google is doing with Chrome. Well, if that just isn't a big fail. But, I'm not going to chalk that up to Linux Mint. I'm going to chalk that up to the fact that I'm running this on a virtual machine that is actually put on an external terabyte hard drive, which is only 7,200 RPM, so it's USB, it's not FireWire or eSATA, so that's probably why this is being so picky as to what it does all at once. So I'm not gonna chalk that up to Isadora at all. No. XChat, that's a good program. I'll probably, when I install this on my desktop, I'll tell you what I'm probably gonna do. I'm gonna lose Firefox completely. Because like I said, as much as I like Firefox, Chrome is better. I'm going to lose XChat. As good of a program as that is, I'm going to lose it, and I'm going to get Conversation, the KDE IRC client. To me, it's just more feature-driven. I will lose Thunderbird and get Evolution. I love Evolution. Now, Pigeon. Ubuntu made the decision to get rid of Pigeon. I disagree with that. Heavily. And here's why. They replaced it with Empathy. Now, I'm sure it could mature into a nice program, but as of now, it's terrible. Not terrible, it's just featureless. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, this update is taking a little longer than I thought, but like I said, it's all chalked up to the way I have my virtual machine set up at this point in time, because the hard drive I had internally dedicated to virtual machines, it crapped out on me, so I have to make do with an external for now. I'll come back when this is done.